From NBC News, this is Today with Scott Simon and Jackie Nesbrough.
In Las Vegas, a big and noisy union protest last night in support of workers striking the Frontier Hotel. Up to 20,000 marchers from a dozen states blocked all 6 lanes of the Las Vegas Strip. That caused massive traffic jams outside the city's biggest and best-known hotels and casinos. The strike by 5 unions against the Frontier started 15 months ago.
Hello and welcome to Newsday Sunday. I'm Natalie Allen. And still ahead on Newsday Sunday, unhappy union workers paralyzed the Las Vegas gambling strip. We'll have that story. Thousands of union members are rallying around workers striking a Las Vegas hotel. Nearly 20,000 union members shut down the Las Vegas Strip for 2.5 hours Saturday night in a show of support for the striking hotel workers. The 5 unions have been on strike at the Frontier Hotel for 15 months.
This is Action News for all of Southern California with Penny Griego and Jose Sanders. Now, Channel 2 Action News Nightcast.
Thousands of union members drew what they called their own line in the sand tonight with a massive protest march down the Las Vegas Strip. They called it Desert Solidarity. Union members from a dozen different states came out to show their support for hundreds of striking workers from the Frontier Hotel.
This is 14 months now that this strike has gone on because the Alardes who own the hotel don't want to pay the fair wages that every other hotel in town pays. That can't go on.
The striking workers are demanding better wages and affordable health care. An attorney for the Frontier accused the unions of bargaining in bad faith.
Now, the #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Larry McCormick and Ed Arnold with sports. Channel 5 News at 10.
Well, tonight, thousands of union members virtually shut down the Las Vegas Strip in a massive demonstration against the Frontier Hotel. The protesters were showing their support for 5 unions that have been on strike against the hotel for the past 15 months. Members of the Hotel and Restaurant Employees International Union are demanding higher wages, pensions, and affordable health care. The crowd was estimated at 15,000, and the pickets carried signs from at least a dozen states. The protest was noisy, but no arrests were reported. Union officials say they are hopeful that the climate for organized labor will be better in the coming Clinton administration.
You're watching KCAL TV, California 9. Now, Larry Carroll, Sylvia Lopez, and Mark Steinis on sports. This is Prime 9 News at 8, Southern California's most honored newscast.
Thousands of union workers marched down the Las Vegas Strip tonight, showing solidarity with 550 striking hotel workers. The event, called Desert Solidarity, is the first major labor rally since the November elections. The rally was held to show support for the workers striking at the Frontier Hotel. They walked out in September demanding higher wages, pensions, and affordable health care.
Hello, I'm Dana Adams.
Good evening, everyone. I'm David Gonzalez.
And who said the unions are dead? They're alive and well in Vegas, enough to take a gamble and shut down the Strip tonight. Union members from all over the West Coast are converging on Las Vegas tonight in a massive show of support for striking Frontier Hotel workers. More than 20,000 protesters marched down the Vegas Strip, shutting down the 6-lane road for more than 2 miles. 5 labor unions at the Frontier have been on strike over wages and health benefits for more than a year.
Union, yeah! We come from Los Angeles, California. We represent 42,000 county workers. Come to Las Vegas because the struggle of the Frontier workers is the same struggle of all workers. The struggle for dignity and respect in their lives, their political and economic livelihood. We took a beating for 12 years. We're here to tell President-elect Clinton that labor is going to step forward and defend working people in the years to come.
The Frontier is one of a handful of hotels that have not signed new contracts since the expiration of a 5-year pact in 1989.
You're watching the #1 station for news and information in Southern California. Channel 7 KABC TV, Los Angeles. With Mark Brown, Joanna Shimina, Rick DeReyes with weather, Rick Lozano sports, and the entire Eyewitness News team. Now, Eyewitness News Tonight.
Thousands of union members marched down the Las Vegas Strip tonight. The protest was to show support for 5 unions that have been on strike against the Frontier Hotel for 15 months.
Union yes, Frontier no. Union yes, Frontier no.
Union members say the strike has gone on far too long. They say all they want is for the Frontier Hotel to pay the same kind of wages everyone else in town pays. Police say the crowd was noisy but well behaved.
24-hour news continues with News Center 4 at 10.
In Las Vegas tonight, tourists on the Strip saw a dramatic show of support for local unions. 15,000 union members marched down the Strip, their show of solidarity for 5 unions on strike at the Frontier Hotel. That's been a long, miserable strike, 15 months. Union members came from a dozen different states. The protest caused huge traffic jams, but no serious problems.
You're watching Como TV4 in Seattle. Now, live at 11 o'clock, Como News 4.
Well, thousands of union members brought things to a halt today in Las Vegas. Union members from a dozen states showed up to carry signs and show support for members who have been striking against the Frontier Hotel for 15 months. They certainly got some attention. They created massive traffic jams and brought the bustling Las Vegas Strip to a standstill. 5 labor unions have been striking over wages and health benefits at the Frontier Hotel, but hotel management was not impressed by today's march. They charge the union is bargaining in bad faith.
Final preparations are underway for Desert Solidarity. An estimated 20,000 union members from across the nation are scheduled to march for 2 miles along the Las Vegas Strip on Saturday. Their solidarity is in support of the 550 striking culinary workers and union bartenders at the Frontier Hotel. That labor dispute is 15 months old now with no end in sight. 8 weeks ago, national labor leaders began marshaling members of the AFL-CIO for the Desert Solidarity March, which should shut down all northbound lanes on the Strip just after sunset. People near the Strip are going to be inconvenienced, but march organizers expect tourists will side with them and against the Frontier.
I was worried about that a year ago, and for the first time in my life, we inconvenienced a lot of people, and we got support for doing it. As I walked down that Strip a year ago, people come out of the casino and showed support for the strikers, even though they were being inconvenienced.
That Solidarity March begins just south of the Tropicana Hotel at 6 o'clock Saturday evening. Union organizers arranged for a live satellite hookup so they can beam the march coast to coast and make local newscasts across the country.
An estimated 20,000 union workers from around the country took part in a march down the Strip tonight. They all showed up to show support for striking Frontier culinary workers. Without doubt, it caused traffic problems, but marchers hope it does much more. Reporter Midori Wa was at the march and brings us a story.
Yes, Frontier no.
They came from around the country and converged on Reno Street, chanting union songs, waving banners and signs, all to support striking Frontier workers.
And I think labor has proven that it's still alive. The labor movement is alive in this day and age.
Because 20,000 union workers were expected to turn out for the march, police shut down the Strip. Drivers were forced to take another route. The Strip temporarily became a big sea of union workers and picket signs as the marchers edged closer to their destination.
Oh, I think it's going to give them a big boost. Oh, yeah, for all unions. You know, just not culinary, every union there is.
After marching from Reno Street to Fashion Show Drive, the union members held a big rally next to the Frontier Hotel.
Whatever happened to the 8-hour day?
A big stage was set up where country singers belted out their best for the grateful crowd. It was a night of solidarity for union workers nationwide. And even though it probably won't end the 15-month-old frontier strike, laborers are confident they got their point across.
It shows that working people can make a difference. Working people are the backbone of Las Vegas, and we're here to show it tonight. We care about this town.
Midori Wa, Eyewitness News 8.
While the marchers shut down the Strip, drivers were forced to take alternate routes like Paradise and Maryland Parkway tonight. The march and rally started winding down just about an hour ago.
Thousands of union members came from across the country to march down the Las Vegas Strip. The giant demonstration was called to show support for striking workers at the Frontier Hotel, who went out on strike 15 months ago when the Frontier demanded cuts in health care and pension benefits.
Well, our entire international executive board has come here from Alaska, Hawaii, and the entire West Coast, and we want to show support and solidarity for these strikers. Win or lose, we got to start punishing the employers, and that's what we're here to do.
Not one worker has crossed the picket line at the Frontier since the walkout began. Strikers say they'll keep the pressure on Frontier as long as it takes.
This strike at the Frontier is simply the tip of the iceberg. There's big trouble underneath if this goes into the new contracts, and we will not stand for that.
Union members rallied into the night, bringing traffic to a standstill on the Strip. Entertainers joined the strikers in a show of solidarity against the Frontier. Union leaders called for national support for the strike.
This is no longer a local struggle. The striking Frontier workers and all the hotel workers in this city, the culinary workers and the bartenders, the carpenters, the engineers, the teamsters, IATSE, all of the theater arts people, all the workers in this city who've supported these strikers from day one are fighting a battle for every working man and woman in this country. And when they win at the Frontier, their victory is going to be a victory for the entire trade union movement.
The trade unionists say they will stand by their demand that Frontier respond to the workers' needs. Until then, the strikers say they will remain on the front line in the sands of Nevada. In Las Vegas, I'm Sheila Brooks reporting.
We come from Los Angeles, California. We represent 42,000 county workers. Come to Las Vegas because the struggle of the frontier workers is the same struggle of all workers. The struggle for dignity and respect in their lives, their political and economic livelihood. We took a beating for 12 years. We're here to tell President-elect Clinton that labor is going to step forward and defend working people in the years to come.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bless you.
Well, our entire international executive board has come here from Alaska, Hawaii, and the entire West Coast, and we want to show support and solidarity for these strikers. Win or lose, we got to start punishing the employers, and that's what we're here to do.
Great, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
We've come from Hawaii to support our brothers and sisters at the Frontier Hotel. Okay? Thank you.